Welcome to Ashtanga Yoga for Beginners. Hi, I'm Leslie. We're going to start lying on our backs and we'll go for the foundation of Ashtanga Yoga practice. We'll begin with our breath, some safety for our back, and then a little work on the bandhas before we get into our poses. So just lie on your back comfortably. Let your feet flop open or turn in, whatever's comfortable and normal for you. Arms a little way away from the sides of your body and breathe. As you're breathing, just notice how your hips, the low part of your back, touch the floor. Your lower back just above the hips lifts gently. The mid to upper back touches the earth, and then your neck, back of your neck, lifts from the earth. So we're going to try and keep those natural curves of your spine to keep your body safe. Continue breathing in and out through your nose. If that's not possible, breathe through your mouth. On the next exhale, take an exhale with your mouth open as if you're fogging a mirror. And then once again, inhale through the nose. Exhale like you're fogging the mirror. Now continue to breathe in and out through your nose wherever possible, keeping that slight constriction in the back of your throat as you breathe. This is called Ujjayi Pranayama. Helps to warm your body from the inside, and it means victorious breath. So as you deepen your breath here, see if you can start to practice it. As you inhale, point your toes up toward the sky, flexing your ankles. And then notice again that low back lifts a little bit from the floor. However, and so does the neck. However, we don't want it to lift more than it is. So take your arms by your sides with your thumbs facing up, palms in, and inhale, start to sweep your arms up alongside your ears if they will. But if your rib cage puffs up toward the sky, then don't take the arms all the way up by the ears. Or if it does, see if you can draw those ribs down and lengthen your low back. Take the arms by your sides again. Once again, inhale. Begin to reach your arms up and over as much as you comfortably can while maintaining the length in the low back and the rib cage drawing down. Exhale, arms alongside your body. Last time, we'll inhale, take the arms up, and they might not go up by the ears, which is completely fine. And exhale, arms alongside your body. Now bend your knees and line up your heels underneath the knees with your toes pointing in a little. As you inhale, just tilt your pelvis up toward the sky, just a little tiny tilt, and then exhale, pull the belly in, hold, and then release. And again, we'll inhale to tilt the pelvis up toward the sky. As you exhale, keep the breath out, but pull your belly in a lot. And now start to squeeze your outer hips, inner thighs, and lift all the muscles in your pelvic floor. And then release and rest. These are your bandhas. Uddiyana Bandha, low belly. So roll to your side and press up. And Mula Bandha is your root lock. Roll yourself forward. And then tuck your toes to come onto your feet and slowly come to standing. So during your practice today, do your best to breathe in and out through the nose, constricting the back of the throat, and then start playing with lifting your low belly and lengthening your tailbone and lifting all the muscles in your pelvic floor as you move. This is practice and it's not going to be easy day one. Do your best. Inhale, reach your arms up. Keep your ribs in. Try not to do what I'm doing, arching. And then as you exhale, just bring your hands together and to your heart center. Once again, inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Arrow straight arms. If your shoulders are tight, take your arms wide. And then exhale, palms touch, hands to heart. That's called Samastitihi. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Maybe look up gently if it's okay on your neck. This time we'll exhale, hinging from your hip creases. Fold forward and bend your knees as much as you need to. And just pause here a moment. Then inhale, bring hands to shins or above knees and lengthen, look forward. Then exhale, folding again, bending the knees as needed. Inhale, rise up, take your arms, look up, lengthen. Remember, ribs and belly in. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Standing at the front of the mat again. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, hinge from your hip creases and fold over your legs. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out your spine, chest forward, and fold again. Exhale, let your head hang. Hips over heels. Press down through your feet and rise up on your inhale. Look up, lengthen. Exhale, hands to the heart. Make sure your feet are parallel the outer edges together or hips socket distance apart. Reach up as you inhale again. And hinge from the hip creases as you fold forward. Tongue-tied today. As you inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Now bend the knees and plant your palms. Step your left foot way back, or your right, and then the other one to plank pose, top of a push-up. Then drop your knees down to the floor. Shift forward about an inch and slowly lower your belly and body down to the earth. And take your hands by your low ribs, elbows up. Press all 10 toenails down. Inhale, peel the chest up for cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes under, press up onto the knees. And then start to lift the knees for downward facing dog. Knees can be bent or straight. You can also just bicycle the legs, bending one knee and then the other. Make sure the arms are shoulders distance and feet are hips width. And then stretch back, straightening the legs any amount. And now take your knees back down to the floor for child's pose. You can rest your head on your hands. If your hips don't go onto the heels, it's fine. Just keep your hips up. Reach your arms forward, straightening the elbows. Spread your fingers. Come up onto the knees again. Tuck your toes. Once again, downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Start to stretch back. So take the weight back to the hips and down toward the heels. Then inhale onto the balls of your feet. Look past your fingers, bend your knees, and walk your feet toward your hands. And then when you get there, take your hands to shins or above knees. Inhale and lengthen your spine, look up. And then fold forward as you exhale, Uttanasana. Press through the feet and inhale to reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to heart, Samastitihi, or steady balance. Inhale again, sweeping your arms up. And as you exhale, hinging forward, long spine as you fold. As you inhale, halfway lift. This is Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step one foot back and the other to plank pose. Knees can be down, or you might even try it with knees up. Shift forward and slowly lower all the way down onto the front. Hands by the low ribs, elbows up again for cobra. Inhale, bhujangasana. And exhale, lower. Tuck the toes, pressing back to the knees, and then stretch into down dog, straightening the legs. Spread your fingers, press down into the base of your fingers, and lift through your forearms. Try to get as much length through your spine as you can. So if that means to bend the knees, if you're tight in your hamstrings, then do that. And now focus on your breath. Inhales and exhales equal in length. And inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale everything out. Lift your belly and pelvic floor. And inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Lengthen your spine, halfway lift. Fold forward as you exhale. Root down through the feet. Inhale. Reach up nice and tall. Keep the ribs and belly in. Exhale, hands to heart. This is called Surya Namaskar A. Inhale. Reach up. Means saluting the sun. Exhale. Fold forward. Crown of the head lengthening down. Inhale. Come halfway, lengthen. Exhale, stepping back into plank, one foot at a time. Knees can be lowered, or you might try it with knees up. Shift forward, slowly lower all the way, touching everything at once onto your belly. Hands by low ribs. Inhale, peel the chest up for cobra, or you can try upward facing dog with thighs and knees off the floor, shoulders above wrists. Take the knees down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe here. So every time you exhale, see if you can draw the belly in for a moment, firming those muscles. Every time you inhale, see if you can engage your pelvic floor muscles, including outer hips pinning in and inner thighs. Inhale onto the balls of the feet. Exhale everything out. As you inhale, step forward and lengthen your spine, look up. On your exhale, fold in. As you inhale, reach up, look up, lengthen. On your exhale, hands to heart. As you inhale this next time, we're going to bend our knees and sit back into chair pose, Utkatasana. So sit back like there's an imaginary chair. Then exhale, belly to thighs, and straighten out the knees as much as they will. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your knees, take your hands down, step your right foot way back, but keep your left foot forward. And then inhale, come on up for warrior one. Pulling your left hip back and sending your right hip forward. As you exhale, bring your hands back down. Come on to step back into downward facing dog. And breathe here. Remember your Ujjayi breathing. Little constriction in the back of the throat. As you inhale onto the balls of your feet, exhale. Keep your hips high and inhale, step forward. Lengthen the spine, halfway lift and fold as you exhale. Now inhale, we'll bend the knees and drop your hips again. Weight into the heels for chair pose. And then to standing, exhale. We'll do the other leg. On your inhale, sit back into chair pose. On your exhale, belly to thighs and then fold. On the inhale, lengthen halfway. Then bend your knees, plant your palms, step your left foot way back, take the heel down. Right foot is forward, lining up heel to heel or wider. Reach through the arms. If it's uncomfortable on your back knee, then you can always pick up your back heel and stand the ball of your foot instead. Exhale, return your hands down. Come on to the ball of the back foot and step to down dog. Arms, shoulders distance, and feet hips width. Firm your arm muscles and leg muscles as much as you can. Engage your low belly muscles and your pelvic floor. And breathe. Inhale onto the balls of your feet. Exhale everything out. And step your feet forward. On your inhale, lengthen, long spine, half lift. Exhale and fold forward, crown of the head reaching down. Bend your knees. Drop your hips, inhale, reach through the arms, look up, and exhale back to Tadasana Samastitihi. Take your feet hip socket distance apart, hands on hips. On your inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hip creases and fold forward. If you can reach the big toes, wrap your first two fingers around them. Bend the knees as needed. Look up, inhale, and then fold forward again, exhale. If you've got your toes, give them a little squeeze. And if you can straighten the legs, do so, but soften the knee joints. Firm the leg muscles. Draw in through the low belly and breathe. Just a soft gaze. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, return your hands to hips and all the way up, inhaling. Now turn to the long side of your mat and step your feet out nice and wide. Arms at shoulder height. Your wrist would be above the ankles. Turn your right leg all the way out. Back toes in, line up your front heel and back arch. Inhale, arms at shoulder height. Now hinge from your hip crease and lengthen out over your straight front leg. Take your right hand down wherever it lands and stretch up through the left fingertips. And now breathe. Lengthen through your torso. Your hand can be anywhere along that right leg. Doesn't matter how deep you get into the pose. Really just breathe. If you can look up and look at your top hand, do that. Otherwise, you can look forward or down. Inhale, come on up. Feet to parallel and left leg out, back toes in, lining up front heel with back arch. Take a breath in, exhale, hinge from the hip crease, reach out, get some length, and then take the left hand down wherever it lands, right arm reaching up. This is called Utthita Trikonasana, or triangle pose. So I'm looking toward my top hand, but it's okay on my neck. If it's not with yours, look forward or down. But another part of our Ashtanga yoga practice is drishti, or focal point. So keep a steady gazing point wherever it is. Inhale, come up. And now exhale, back to the top of your mat. Taking a breath here. And then turn again to the long side. Step out a little longer this time. Right leg turns all the way out, back toes in, line up heel to arch. Take the arms out to shoulder height. Exhale, bend the knee over the ankle, lean forward, bring your right forearm on your right thigh, reach your left arm in line with the ear with the pinky side of the hand facing down. Now breathing here. If it's okay with your neck, the drishti is looking toward the inside of the arm. Firm the back leg and press into the front heel, making sure your knee is over the ankle and pointed over the middle toes. Steady breathing. Inhale, come on up, straighten the leg, feet to parallel, toes in. Then left leg turns out, back toes in, still lined up heel to arch. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee over the ankle. Take a breath in. Exhale, left forearm to thigh. Sweep the right arm forward in line with your ear, the pinky side of the hand facing down. Double check that the left knee is above your ankle and in line with the middle toes. That keeps your knee safer. Soften around your neck. Keep your breath nice and steady. And engage your low belly and your pelvic floor muscles. Maybe just a little bit. Inhale, come on up. Feet to parallel and then back to the top of your mat. Exhale. Turn again to the long side, this time toes pointing in a little toward each other, hands on hips, legs are wide. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, hinging from the hip creases, fold. Take your hands down or fingertips. Inhale, lengthen, nice flat back. Stay there or fold in any amount on your exhale. Crown of the head is lengthening toward the earth. Press through the little toe sides of your feet a bit, but then firm the outer ankles in. Engage your low belly, your pelvic floor. Those are your bandhas. Steady gaze, just off the tip of the nose. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bring hands to hips. All the way up as you inhale, and then back to the top of your mat. Exhale. Inhale and reach your arms up. Keep your ribs and belly in. Exhale, hinging forward from the hip creases, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, step back into plank pose, top of a push-up. Knees can be up or down. Shift forward and lower to your belly. Onto the 10 toenails. As you inhale, peel the chest up, lengthen sitting bones to heels. Exhale, tuck the toes, press up to the knees. And then walk your knees forward so you can take one hip down to sit, extending the legs in front of you. This is called Dandasana. Sitting nice and tall, so instead of rounding the back, I'm going to lift up. Press the heels down, but pull the toes back. Walk your hands forward, inhale, and exhale to fold any amount. You can hold the sides of the mat, your legs, or if you have a yoga strap, you can take that around the balls of the feet and hold that, or hold your feet. But instead of thinking head to knees, think belly to thighs, and lengthen through your spine. And breathe, gazing towards your toes. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, release. Bring your hands behind you with fingertips facing front, or if you have wrist issues, face your fingertips out to the side. Bend your knees and lift yourself up into a reverse table. Heels under knees. Let your head go back if your neck feels okay with it. Steady breathing. If your shoulders are tight, you won't get up as high, which is fine. These things open and soften in time as you get stronger. Bring your chin in towards your chest and lower down. Cross at your ankles. Bring your hands just in front of your hips and pick your buns up if you can. Then set yourself back down. Extend the legs. Now bend your right knee, right foot onto the floor. Bring your right hand behind your back. Left arm up. Inhale. As you exhale, hugging the right arm for a twist. Sit up nice and tall. Inhaling. Make sure the left toes point up toward the ceiling. An option to take that arm to the outside of the right leg as you twist a little bit deeper. Your choice. Keep your breath steady. And inhale, head to center. Exhale and release. And bend your left. Left foot's flat on the floor, left hand behind. Reach up through the right arm. Inhale. Exhale, hug it around the leg and twist. Also an option to take your right elbow toward the outside of the leg for a little deeper twist. Inhale, create length through your spine. Exhale, twisting in a little deeper if you can. Inhale, back to center, extending both legs. Bending both knees now, sit up nice and tall. Bring hands behind the thighs and shift your weight back so your feet come up. This is called boat pose or navasana. You can hold on behind the legs, or if you're steady, extend your arms alongside your legs. Pull your belly in, lift your pelvic floor as you breathe. And then release your feet back down. It's a little core work, strengthening. So we'll do it one more time. Make sure your back isn't rounding, so lift your chest, leaning back to get the feet to come up. Hold on behind the legs. If you're steady, you can try to reach your fingertips alongside the legs. Gently looking up with your eyes. Keep your neck long and breathe. Release, cross your shins, hands just in front of the hips. Pick up anything at all, and then sit back down. Pretty much all of Ashtanga is core work. Use your hands to come down onto your back carefully. Heels under knees, toes point in just a tiny bit toward each other, feet hips width apart. Inhale, lift your hips, low back, mid back, maybe the upper back. Grab the sides of your mat and see if you can roll your shoulders under. If that works okay, you can interlace your fingers or keep your palms flat or keep holding the sides of the mat and pulling. Lower down and rest a moment. And then one more time, heels under the knees. As you inhale, pull the belly in, lift up, low back, mid back, maybe upper back. Roll the shoulders under if you can. Lengthen your sitting bones toward the backs of your knees, spinning your inner thighs down toward the earth. Keep your neck long. Breathe, soft gaze off the tip of your nose. And then release and lower back down. Hug your knees into your chest. Gently rock yourself from side to side. Give the low back a little massage. Roll onto your right side. Use your left hand to press yourself up to seated. And then extend your legs in front of you again. Nice long spine. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, hinging from the hip creases, come forward any amount. Holding to your legs, holding a strap, hold the sides of the mat, or reach for your toes. Keep a steady gaze just on your feet as you breathe here. Try to lengthen out your inhales and exhales, keeping them equal. Inhale, head up, and exhale to release. Bend your knees and slowly, carefully lower yourself onto your mat on your back. Inhale with your knees bent, bring them in toward the belly, and then straighten the legs up toward the sky. Pull your belly in as you breathe here. Now your legs might not be straight, which is fine, but notice you do have to kind of use some belly muscles to hold the legs up there. If they're straight or bent, either way. If you have any discomfort in your low back, engage your belly muscles more and your pelvic floor muscles, but if that doesn't work, slide your hands underneath your low back, right? The outer or the inner sides of your hips. Hug the knees in and return your feet to the floor. Roll yourself off to the right and press up, or you can hug the backs of your legs and roll back and forth up your spine 2 or 3 times to come up and sit. Now we'll cross at the shins, and if that doesn't work for you, then keep your knees bent with your feet on the floor instead. Don't want to hurt any knees. Take your hands behind you, see if you can hold the elbows or grab your wrists and then fold forward. This is Yoga Mudra, sealing in the benefits of our practice today. Steady, long Ujjayi breaths here. And inhale, make your way back up. And then with your feet flat on the floor, carefully make your way onto your back once again. We'll set up for our final resting pose. So be sure to lengthen your sitting bones toward the backs of your heels and draw your shoulder blades away from your ears. If you extend the legs and you have discomfort in your lower back, then keep your knees bent. Do your best to close your eyes and rest for just a moment. This pose is called Shavasana, and it translates to corpse pose. So stillness, and this is an opportunity just to be without doing anything. So for some, this is the hardest pose. While you're here, I have a quote from Paul Brandt, who's a musical artist from Canada. Don't tell me the sky is the limit when there are footprints on the moon. Quiet mind, quiet body, Shavasana, rest. Right where you are, deepen your breath, and then start to make little movements in your fingers and your toes and your hands and your feet. It's a long stretch overhead. Bend your knees, roll yourself onto your right side, and take a moment to thank yourself for taking your practice today. You did very good work. And then using your left hand, come to seated, coming up carefully. Sit with your shins crossed or your feet flat on the floor, and bring your hands together in front of your heart. Hands to your forehead, reminding you to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to your heart, reminding you to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to your mouth, reminding you to have clear and loving communication, sending positive energy out to all beings everywhere. Namaste. You really need your core to be so strong when you practice Ashtanga and all kinds of yoga. I've created a special class for you, and there's a link in the description below, or it's pinned at the top of the comments. If you enjoyed today's Ashtanga class, you're really going to love this one. And also, I recommend this.